Running a Fever, Episode 18, The Mental Effects.
Yesterday I recorded the entire time I was running, but don't know how much of that will be usable because of an audio problem that was not related to wind. It was only an electronic problem, maybe with the cable. I suspect it's with the cable and the connection at the phone. Maybe something I can get a replacement or something, but I mean, from visual inspection, it looks fine. It's just popping all the way through the recording. So I was gonna do my workout in the morning this morning and go to the running store to get my gait analyzed. Didn't do that because I stayed up a little too late last night working on this podcast, among other things, and because of that, I made the decision to get up later and just go into work. It's definitely not worth losing sleep over. I think I can do what I need to do on Saturday. Tomorrow I have a breakfast appointment, so it will not be possible tomorrow either. And really, this time of the year, it's a race against the sun. Even if I get up early in the morning, it's kind of dark when I go out there. And in the evening, of course, I got to get out there it's already kind of late. It's 16:42. And if I get out there at 4 or earlier, then it's fine. Maybe even 4:30. Any later than that, and by the time I get back to my car, it's going to be dark. Last night, it was dark enough to have the lights on my car driving home. But it wasn't dark. It wasn't dark on the end of my walk. So traffic's not too bad. I've been lucky with the lights, and I'm gonna scoot down here and see if I can knock out 2.5 miles or more in a nice half mile or more run. We'll see how that goes. That's been pretty much what we've done the last 2 days. I'm really happy with that for this week. I don't get any more than that, but like I said, at this point, it's really a race against the sun. I think over the weekend, if I get to the running store, I will get some kind of gear that will allow me to safely run after dark. Or, let's say after dark. It's interesting. If it was actually after dark, then it would be light. Or if it was before dark. During dark is what I'm really talking about. I don't know why people say after dark. Why do people say that? And another reason to go to this area that I pretty much always go to, not as much woods involved, it's more open. Okay, so here I go. I'm gonna be donning hat and gloves today because the car thermometer says 34 degrees. It's very brisk out here. In fact, not just having my hat on, I'm gonna actually pull my hood up here. The sky's beautiful. It really is. And there's traffic on the roads. There's traffic. I've only seen one. Here's the second. So it's probably going to be a pretty normal day on the trail here. No cars in the parking lot. Except for mine. One of these days I'm going to catch one of those squirrels. Not literally catch him, but see him or her. Maybe you get a picture. So this kind of cold, I definitely need more upper body protection. And I was thinking yesterday it'd be nice to have something that was nice long sleeve something underneath. But hopefully once we get warmed up here, okay, gone a little more than 1/10 of a mile so far. So we're just continuing on the theme of why we do this. Why run? Why exercise? Talked about some of my reasons for doing it. How I get motivated to do it. And how I hope I'm going to be consistent with it and continue. Try to get better. But at least try to get out here and get some exercise. So one of the other benefits, other than heart health and muscle strength and just, pulmonary health, just expending energy, is the mental effects. So today it was kind of a stressful day for me, and they say all stress is self-imposed, which is probably true, but whatever happened, it felt stressful to me. Situations that I was experiencing and the way I was thinking about them. And I have various ways of coping with that. But I think one good way to lower the overall stress in my life is exercise. Now, if I wasn't doing recording here, I'd probably be thinking, because I'm talking and I know someone may listen to this someday, I'm not going to say a lot of the things I would say in my head, which is another good reason for just having people in your life that you can talk to. This is a little different, but it's still talking, and I still feel like I'm talking to a person, even though I can't see them. They're not responding right now. So that's therapeutic in itself. And I think, I've been told that the endorphins are good for that, the good feeling that you get from a vigorous exercise. I've heard that exercise is good for preventing depression. That guy had some bright shoes. Some of these runners have really loud shoes. I think I generally wear very subdued colors. Black, gray's not too bad, maybe a dark blue. My shoes are dark blue. But if I get something loud like that, I probably won't need any other reflective device, because it looks like those things would glow in the dark. It's like a bright yellow or something. I'm a little colorblind, so when I describe a color, it might not be what you're thinking it is. I'm not doing my liquid lunch today. I went home. My house is very close to work. So I went home and had corn dogs today. Not that you care what I had for lunch, but it's my diet. It's part of my overall health program. Or, in this case, lack thereof. So, I'm thinking very seriously about implementing a high protein breakfast, trying to stick to the shake for lunch. So I've been feeling pretty good. I definitely, at this point, I wouldn't say I'm addicted to exercise. That would be going a little too far. But I definitely look forward to it and don't want to miss it. And I think I was down another pound today. I think I was at 265 today. All right, here we go. Coming up to the 1 mile point, and I'm going to begin my run. Feels even colder now, and the sun's already gone. So it's going to be very dark. I always start to feel better about here. Kind of get into a groove. Just past 3/4 mile. This is a 1/4 mile for me. Getting close. I don't watch out for traffic. Stop sign. Okay. So, taking the hood off. I didn't actually make it to the half-mile point that time. It amazes me how you can be inside of a goal and yet it's still too far away. I don't seem to be able to reach it unless I focus on it. But just focusing on it doesn't mean I can reach it or that I will reach it. Yeah. All right, so try to pick up the walking pace a little bit. No big deal. You know, I know how I said that from a technical physics perspective, running and walking expend the same amount of energy. But I gotta tell you, it sure feels like a lot more energy. And I don't know if I should say energy as much as doing work. Because again, I think there's extra work involved in launching my massive bulk over a section of pavement that I don't have when I'm walking, because I can rely on, you know, my straight leg is taking most of that weight while my other leg is moving forward. So I don't think it's nearly as easy as walking. And to tell the truth, I did have this same difficulty on the last really cold day that we had. It probably hasn't been that cold since today. I never did ask whether there was some difference from someone who knows, or even Google it yet. And if you have, then you're way ahead of me, which you are anyway. So much has happened in the time between me recording this and you listening to it. Well, I'm gonna go 2.5 miles, or I should say to the 1.25 mile point and start heading back, because I have not really seen the sun since I arrived in the course. So I know that when I get to the other side of the marina, it's probably going to be pitch black, very dark. Of course, that full moon is probably out. I haven't seen it yet, but it's getting so close to full. And I thought it was going to be a normal day, but it's turned out to be really quiet. I wonder if a lot of the people that come out here at this time of day are really fair weather, or maybe they're Monday, Wednesday, Friday people. Today is Thursday. Just heard something. I don't see a squirrel though. They're invisible, these squirrels. The 0.23 mile marker. Oh yeah, I'm way past the quarter mile marker. I thought it was further up, so I will have more than 2.5 miles today, as I would anyway, because I start before I get to the 1.5 mile marker. It always looks better when I turn around. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm heading home, or The way the light shines, I don't see any light now, of course, but it's there's houses over there. I can see outdoor lights on the athletic field to my left, on the marina to my right, and the lake, according to the sign at the gate of the marina, is closed. Take a closer look. I was running last time and I didn't really notice it very much. I couldn't stop and read it. So I don't think there's any chance I'll make it to the store today because it closes at 7. And I'd have to speed there and might get there by pretty close to closing time. Which is okay if you know what you want and you're just running in to get something, but I mean, I think of how I think about people when I get that request at the end of the day to do this or that. So I try to be nice about that. So I think I'm going to try to run this little bit that I skipped as I'm going back, and so I can at least say that I ran half a mile today and not be lying.
Nice and warm today, isn't it?
Oh yeah. So I know I look like I'm talking to myself if someone were to see me, because basically that's what I'm doing, but I don't think there's any other giveaway for me just walking along, because I've got the cable coming out of the phone, but they probably just assume it's earbuds because you can hardly tell. I mean, got the hat on, I had the hood on, the mic is just attached to the hood, so it'd be hard to tell the difference. Okay, here's the half mile. Starting to run here. I'll just run to the gate. Yeah. So remember, I did run across the driveway here. So, lake closed December 23rd through January 14th. Marina gate open at sunrise. So I don't know, probably shut down at 4:30 or so if they close at sunset, which makes sense. Oh, it's not quite December 23rd yet. But it is interesting that they do stay open that late in the year, and it just seems like take a few weeks off, because I mean February's got to be cold, so I don't think it's because of the cold. I guess if somebody was gonna want to do some boating or whatever people do on the lake, fishing, he might jet to Florida or coastal Georgia or something like that, where you could have some warmer weather. Well, it's not completely pitch black. So I got one more day to try to get a run in during the light, and hopefully I'll be equipped for the darkness after Saturday. We'll see. Keep it up.
Oh, man.
Now there's a beautiful tree. Talked about it yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and snap a picture of it. So I've taken off the gloves. I could probably take the hat off as well. Yeah, it feels better. I did get warmed up eventually. It took a while. Yes. I don't know who I was talking to. I guess it was my friend who's my friend Tom, who I guess it's okay to say his name, is going to be starting a podcast network, and I believe they asked him and his wife, or one of those two, asked how cold it was going to be before I would stop, and I said I'm going all winter. You know, I mean, I'm not going to probably run when it's icy, too dangerous to even leave the house. But as long as I can safely do it, I'm going to, and I'm going to try to be equipped to run in all weather eventually. Till then, up to now, I've been fortunate. No reason not to get out here when it's cold, as long as it's safe. Actually might be a little easier to run. So he said he likes to run, he likes it to be warmer, and I'm just the opposite. Do not like hot weather, even warm weather. This is my time of year right here. I love it. My winter wardrobe is better, although it's pretty bad anyway. And I just seem to get along better. And I do not see the moon. Maybe hiding behind a cloud somewhere. Certainly dark enough. I've been out here when it's been this dark and I've seen the moon. The walk seems to take longer. Maybe it's because I'm just all alone out here, because it's dark, but not too dark that I'm concerned about tripping and falling or being run over by a bicycle or anything like that. It's not scary enough to be interesting yet. A little bit closer to nature. Just a little bit. It's the life of city folk. Out in the country, I know it's completely different. Critters are closer. Automobiles do not dominate the landscape like they do here. Passing the map area. I mean, I'm definitely feeling challenged right now. So, I mean, like I said, yesterday I said this because I was listening to it and I remember it. That I'm fine with the pace I'm going. Honestly, I feel fairly challenged, especially my legs. I think the run takes something out of them strength-wise, in addition to affecting, my cardiopulmonary energy. And this part of the course, I'm coming up to the 1 mile marker. On the way back is uphill. Not really steep, but it's uphill. I know that other parts of this course, including ones that I've been on already, are a lot more challenging in terms of altitude and grade. But this is, you kind of go down here and then after the marina you kind of go up because you're going on top of the dam there. And after that it's pretty much smooth sailing. Another benefit that I would think applies to exercise is just a better mental operation just due to the circulation. I talked about everything that goes into a little more traffic now. Pretty much constant. Everything that goes into athletic intelligence, balance and depth perception, and I think it could probably affect other areas of my life as well. And I certainly hope so. I consider myself to have a pretty high mental capacity, but that's one area where you just can't have enough, I believe. I also believe, and there may be some scientific background to this somewhere, I don't know. I've always been interested in how the mind works, at least in the last few years, that there's a price to pay for that capacity, that mental capacity. So the higher it is, there's somewhere there's a balance of perhaps some other kind of mental health. So there's something to, perhaps the stereotype of the socially awkward genius or whatever, the absent-minded professor, the mad scientist, the evil genius. I always thought, growing up I was never excited about the good characters. I always thought the villains were pretty cool. Wouldn't it be great to be Lex Luthor, super genius, even Wile E. Coyote is just a lot more interesting than the Roadrunner. I mean, come on, he's inventing things, he's got all these cool toys he gets from the Acme company. He's always trying to think of another way to get that pesky Roadrunner and eat him up. Darth Vader, I always thought he was way more interesting, more compelling a character than Luke Skywalker, any of the other good guys. That's what's interesting about Han Solo. He's kind of got a little mischievous side. So, we see that in fiction, but I think there's maybe some scientific evidence. Albert Einstein's brain has been studied, and there might be something to that. I know that it was physically unusual in some way. I actually applied a few years ago to PhD programs in neuroscience because I was so interested in it. Kind of hard for me to get in, though, non-scientific background, although philosophy encompasses some science. Historically, it used to be pretty much the only field of study. So if you were a philosopher, you were everything, scientist. Besides what we know philosophy today is the, search for meaning in life. But I didn't get into those programs. Perhaps I was aiming too high. Perhaps if I was really serious about it, I would go back to school and get maybe a master's degree or something in some sort of scientific field. But I moved on for now. Evening. All right, I'm cool enough now. I'm gonna put my hood back up. Yeah, comes running with a headlight, which I should have. So not only is that good for being seen, but it lights the trail ahead of the runner. I don't know where that 1 1/4 mile marker was, but pretty sure I've passed it. I'm gonna try to slow down here. it's become easier to get out here. I do look forward to it. It makes me feel better. It's something good. It's a good part of my day. And I don't want to miss it. But the actual performing of this task is not getting easier. Some days it is. Some days it's pretty tough. Today I'm feeling it in my legs quite a bit. Again, I think the thin air has something to do with it, but it was really hard to finish that run the first time around. But I made it up. It's okay to break it up into a couple of sessions, so I'm still doing okay. And even if numerically I don't make progress, the fact that I've been out here another day, the fact that I didn't stay at home and do nothing, or do something that's non-physical, leaving this part of my life completely out for the day, that in itself is progress, because it's another day. However many episodes this is, I think we're in the high teens at this point. It's progress. So it's another day of being healthy. And I think every day that I work out, even if I'm not increasing my distance or my time or my heart rate or lowering my weight or any of those things, I think I'm progressing because I'm becoming more healthy just by doing regular exercise. If nothing else, that will keep me coming out here. And then I'm at the 1.5 mile marker. Feel pretty good. Last night I felt pretty tired. I went out and I even though I did wind up staying awake later than I usually would, or certainly if I was getting up early in the morning, I felt really tired for the rest of the evening. And, that brings up another benefit of exercise, and that is better sleep. I mean, if I'm feeling very relaxed at a low energy point, that's ideal for sleeping. And I do feel like I've been sleeping better of late. And the watch is supposed to tell me that. The app is supposed to tell me that, and there are sleep statistics, but I'm not sure. It'll tell me how long I slept. This is just smart enough to know what kind of movement I make when I'm sleeping. So, sleeping better, feeling better generally, having a little mental break, getting out in nature, staving off depression, just better general mental health and ability. These are the things I enjoy about running. It might be that in a future interview, I'm really planning to have some special programs where I have an interview instead of just a monologue. Although this is mainly what I want to do with this show. It's about documenting my journey here. And so far it's been good. I've been feeling progress. There's been some tough days and some little successes, like the day that I first got really close to running a half a mile, the day that I hit 2.5 miles for my total distance, the day that I started exercising after Thanksgiving weekend. I mean, in a sense, every day is a success. So, pretty good workout, pretty good day, despite what happened earlier, I feel pretty good about it now. So it was another day. We try to go out on a positive note, so that's good. And running helps me do that. So until next time, keep the fever.
You're listening to the Padua Podcasts Network, PaduaMedia.com.